Thank you. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Ready?
Whenever.
Clerk, call the roll.
B. Glenn Whitley, County Judge.
Here.
Roy C. Brooks, Commissioner Precinct 1.
Present.
Marty Van Ravensway, Commissioner Precinct 2. Gary Fickus, Commissioner Precinct 3.
Present.
J.D. Johnson, Commissioner Precinct 4.
Here.
Constitutes a quorum.
We have an abbreviated agenda today, and we thank everyone for coming out. Our first order of business will be the approval of the minutes for our regular meeting of December the 11th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I'll make that motion.
It sounds a whole lot better if you're up right there next to it. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Please vote. Motion passes. You made the motion. You got to vote for it. Passes unanimously. The next item is a proclamation, and Commissioner Brooks, I believe you have somebody here that you want to recognize today.
I do indeed. In keeping with the Precinct 1 tradition of honoring young men when they achieve the Eagle Scout ranking, we have such a young man this morning. His name is Brian Campbell, and he was brought to my attention several months ago by his Scoutmaster, Greg Shugart, with the District Attorney's Office. Greg has been Brian's Scoutmaster since he came into Scouting. Greg sent me an email yesterday, Brian, saying he wished that he could be here, but he is leading the Scouts' annual Christmas trip, which you took 2 years ago. We tried to do this during the summer, but Brian was in the process of becoming an Aggie, and Aggie traditions being what they are, he had to go to Aggie camp or something. So,
Fish camp, I think.
Fish camp.
fish camp.
Let's get it right, Commissioner.
Fish camp.
Fish
At
camp.
any rate, we are glad to be able to finally honor Brian Campbell. And Judge, if you would read the proclamation into the record, I would appreciate it.
You bet. For his exceptional academic, extracurricular, and civic achievements, for the dedication and commitment that he demonstrated in achieving the rank of Eagle Scout, for his service to and active involvement in the affairs of his community, for his outstanding example of leadership and duty that he has set for young people throughout Tarrant County, the Commissioners Court of Tarrant County is pleased to recognize an outstanding young citizen of our county, Eagle Scout Brian Campbell, member of the Brotherhood of the Order of the Arrow, Eagle Scout Troop 5, and congratulate him on the occasion of his receiving the rank of Eagle Scout. In witness whereof, we have heretofore set our hands and caused the seal of Tarrant County to be affixed this 27th day of December, 2007.
Move approval.
Second.
A motion and a second. Please vote. The motion passes unanimously.
Brian, if you would meet me at the podium, please, sir.
Brian, I want to congratulate you. I have two sons who are both Eagle Scouts, and my youngest son also went to Texas A&M. And there's no finer organization, in my opinion, for young men than the Boy Scouts of America. And achieving the rank of Eagle Scout is probably the greatest thing you've done in your life up to now, I would think. And it's a goal that you set out to do, obviously, when you were younger, and you've achieved it. And congratulations to you and your parents.
Congratulations. I'd like for you to say a few words and introduce your parents and the rest of those who came to be with you this morning. Just step right up.
All right, well, my parents, Cheryl and Irvin Campbell, if you please stand up, as well as my grandparents, Villar and Geraldine Harris, and my kid brother, Gerald. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your Eagle Scout project and how you find Aggie land.
Well, for my project, took me back to my former elementary school, Edward McDonald, where I painted some blacktop games on the playground for the kids, because I noticed that, when they go out for recess, that they don't have much to do. They have that old rusty playground that was getting old and tearing down while I was there, and that was so long ago. So I just thought that, putting those games out there would give them more to do, and it would be like a learning experience, and I just wanted to give back to the school that gave so much to me.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been so long ago that you went there, but like for Commissioner Brooks or somebody like that, it would have been so long ago when they went there.
You don't even want me to go there, because when I was in elementary schools, I couldn't go to Atwood McDonald because schools were segregated.
Well, we congratulate you very much, Brian, on the accomplishment, as Commissioner
Thank
Fickus and Commissioner Brooks have said. We really congratulate you, and we're glad that you were able to come out today.
How's Aggie Land?
It's great. It's wonderful. I love it.
You went to fish camp. You got maroon blood now.
Yeah, you know it.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brian's dad is a Fort Worth police officer.
I know y'all are very proud of Brian and all that he's done. Thank y'all very much for being here this morning. Court members, you have before you the consent agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. We have a couple of public hearings this morning. Mr. Manius.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the court, we do have three public hearings. They're interrelated. The first one deals with a resolution relating to the approval of taxation of goods in transit that are otherwise exempt from taxation by Tax Code Section 11.253 by Tarrant County. Just a quick comment about this. This is a part of a bill that was passed during the last legislative session. You might recall that we currently have exempt from taxation Freeport legislation, basically that exempts goods that are shipped out of state. This particular bill, though, talks about goods that are shipped intrastate, and it automatically takes effect unless the court takes action to not exempt this type of property from taxation. So there's a requirement that we do hold a public hearing. At the conclusion of this public hearing, we're going to ask the Commissioner's Court to approve a resolution which exempts, which would, I'm going to make sure I say this correctly, which would not exempt these particular items from taxation. So, Your Honor, we ask that you open the hearing at this time and take any comments that anyone might want to give.
This first public hearing is as it relates to Tarrant County. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this public hearing? None appearing, then we will close this public hearing.
Move approval of the resolution to not grant an exemption to taxation to these items.
Second. We have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Does this have to be done every year?
No. Now that we've done this one, it stays in effect until we decide to remove this particular resolution.
Second public hearing is regarding the same matter, but it pertains to the Tarrant County Hospital District. Is there anyone here wishing to speak to this matter? Seeing none, the public hearing is closed.
Has the hospital district already taken action on this?
Yes, I have.
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. We now have a public hearing on the same matter as it pertains to Tarrant County Emergency Service District Number 1. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this matter? None appearing. The public hearing will be closed.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
I have a motion, and a second. Any further discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Your Honor, under the Administrator's section, which is the next item, on items 1 and 2, we are going to ask that those two items be held until after close this morning.
Okay. The next item is the elections. Good morning, how are you?
I'm here this morning to ask the court to canvass the results of the special runoff election for District 97 held on December 18th.
Move approval of the canvass.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? I guess we did not do the city's election. They did their own. Is that correct?
Correct. I understand their canvass is today also.
Okay.
But we don't canvass those anyway, do we?
No.
No.
Okay.
No other discussion. Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank
you
you.
very much. Ms. Worthy,
I move to receive and file the personnel agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to receive and file the personnel agenda. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Good job.
Any appointments? Okay, is there, we have before you the claims, including the addendum.
Move approval of the claims, including the addendum.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the claims, including the addendum. Any discussion? Please vote. Motion passes unanimously. No briefing items. At this time, we will recess the open. Well, we're going to.
Going to hold that.
We have someone who's here wanting to speak to the fireworks matter. We're going to have a very brief closed session, and I think that if you would allow me to, I would let you speak as we bring this session open. Your mouth just ain't working today.
We're going to talk about
We're going to talk about it after we get finished with the closed
After we get
session,
finished.
and it'll be just a second. So at this time, the Commissioners' Court will now recess the open session and proceed to closed session to discuss items exempted under Sections 551.071, 072, 074, and 076, and 087 of the Texas Government Code. From our recess, and at this time, Mr. Mayes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the Court, if we could go to item A2 under the Administrator section. At this time, we're requesting that the Court rescind the declaration of disaster order and an order prohibiting certain fireworks in unincorporated areas of Tarrant County, which was adopted by Court Order 102121. This, in effect, would rescind that court order.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, now before we have a motion and a second, we also have an audience participation form from a Karen Petrosky. Yeah, well, that's I'm impressed that I even got that close. Thank you very much for coming out today, and go ahead and repeat your name and your address so that they can get it on the record.
My name is Karen Piotrowski. I'm an attorney with Gardier Wind Sewell. I'm here on behalf of TNT Fireworks. The address for my firm is 1601 Elm Street, Suite 3000, Dallas, Texas 75201.
Okay.
And with regard to the ban on aerial fireworks, we urge that this court rescind it, in part because the Forest Service has not declared that drought conditions exist in Tarrant County, and data shows that there are no drought conditions here. And there's no basis for declaring that there are hazardous conditions under the tall grass exception of the statute that permits this court to enact such a ban.
Okay, is that your comment?
And then with regard to the declaration of disaster, there is not any scientific data, unless this court has some that we aren't aware of at this point, and we'd certainly be interested to hear what it is. There is no scientific data that supports the conclusion that there has been widespread damage, injury, or loss of property and life, or that there is an imminent threat of widespread or severe damage, injury, or loss of property and life, and that's necessary for a declaration of disaster under the Texas Government Code.
Okay, Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Call the question.
There's no other discussion, then please vote. Motion passes unanimously.
Been
Your Honor.
rescinded.
And I believe at this point in time, there was no action on item 7A1, so unless there is any further business, then we'll stand adjourned and wish everybody a Happy New Year. Our next meeting will be January the 8th. That's correct. Everybody enjoy going out and paying your taxes to Ms. Price.